Hi everybody, welcome to our video. I'm here with Chef Pascal. I wanted to bring something special to my subscriber here. For that I bring on a guest chef, Chef Pascal Berika. I wanted to bring to you some great charcuterie, and that's the man for it. So Pascal, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you. Today we're going to do the fresh chorizo, and for that we're going to need some meat. First of all, you're going to need approximately 500 grams of pork belly, about 250 grams of clean, lean pork shoulder, and also some 250 grams of beef. The spice for this chorizo, fresh chorizo, we're using the salt. Salt is actually some tender quick. It's a salt that has the nitrate and nitrite directly into the mix to give you a better product at the end. Now also I have some pepper, white pepper. I have a little bit of oregano, a little bit of cayenne, and a little bit of paprika, and also some pimenton. Okay, and to finish, a little bit of olive oil. Now for the next steps, I'm going to ground the meat into the meat grinder. I have a plate that has approximately 4mm, quarter of an inch holes, and everything else is cold. I just put them together, and also the meat is in a fish bowl. So I'm going to start to process the meat all together into a bowl. Here I have the pork belly, the pork diced lean, and the beef as well lean. Put it to the grinder. All the meat is mixed together into the machine, and now we're going to mix the ingredients. Now, it's very important that you keep everything as cold as possible. This is the main reason I have everything in the freezer. But you don't want the meat to be frozen, otherwise it's going to have a hard time to go to the machine. I'm mixing everything together very well first, and the first ingredients that I'm going to add is to add the salt first. The salt is very important, not only for the seasoning, but also to bind everything together. It's going to develop the natural glue of the meat. And I'm mixing this. I'm going to use my hand in a few minutes, but I want to make sure that everything is well mixed. And there we go. Now to this, I'm going to add all the other ingredients. And for that I'm going to use my hand. Now here I have the pimenton, paprika, the cayenne pepper, oregano, et le poivre blanc moulu, and a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to use a pair of gloves and mix it all together. Now the trick is, you want to make sure you mix it well, but you don't want to overmix it, because if you overmix it, you are melting some of the fat, and your sausage later on is going to be very dry when you cook it. That the fat melts ahead of time. I'm gonna finish it with the mixer to make sure that everything is well mixed together. I'll put the bowl from the machine into the fridge to make sure it's very cold. Put everything in together, and I'm going to mix it all up about a minute into the mixer at low speed. Now there is a little trick that I do to make sure that your meat is well mixed. When you grab into your hand and you open your hand, the meat should stick to your hand. And that's the sign that the glue is well developed. And it's sticking to my hands. So this is well mixed, a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna put the meat into the fridge until I'm ready to use the sausage pressed to make my sausage links. And here is my hot casing that's been already cleaned, washed, and I like to soak them a little bit into warm water. It makes more elasticity into the casing, so they won't break as much, and I can fill them up a little bit more than I would normally. I'm going to put the machine together with the biggest tube I have. The tube, the screw, and I'm going to make this nicely tight. Now this is nice and cold. We don't want the fat to melt. In the clean plate or tray, I take a little bit of the mixture, and I'm going to slap it here and repeat the process in here. So it's important that you remove the maximum of the air from the mixture, and by using it to a plate like this and then into the container to make sure all the air are being removed. Otherwise we're going to have a little air pocket into our casing, which is not very good. Okay, this go here and there. Okay, now I'm gonna put the machine together. The good thing with this machine is I can see through the tube that the mixture is gonna come through, so I know where to stop. A certain machine has, they're not as transparent, so it's very hard to see. In that case, I like to put my finger into the opening and feel it as it comes out. Like this, I use my pork casing. There's not a lot in there, so maybe one will be enough. It's also important to make sure your casing is well lubricated and the tube is well lubricated, that everything goes on easily. If it doesn't go on easily, it's not going to come out as easily as well. It's going to be a problem. That should be plenty. Je vais faire. Now it's important to keep this steady coming out, and I'm holding on to the casing a little bit to make sure it doesn't go too fast. You don't want it to be too full, you don't want it to be too loose somewhere. Keep it consistent. Coming slowly. It looks nice. Now, if you put too much in your casing, especially when you're going to cook them, the meat will somewhat swell a little bit and they may burst. So it's important that you don't fill them up too much. Now, this machine, be careful that you don't force, because you'll break the bearing. Now, remove the excess casing, and I like to have a little bit more. So this will give me a little bit more to work with. Approximately 6 inches long for the chorizo. You know, if they're too tight, you know, you can't link them together. They will burst open. So it's important to have a little bit of a little loose. Maybe one more. And I like to have this one a little bit tighter, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use another piece of string and tie it just at the tip here. There we go, do the trick. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. Je vais couper. Et ceci, c'est des fresh chorizo that's going to be cooked, and I like to let them sit in the fridge overnight to dry them further. They become nice and deep red, and the next day I will poach them into a water bath, approximately The internal temperature of the sausage should be around 145. If you overcook them, they lose the fat, they're going to be dry. And the liquid, the water, should be around no more than 180, low simmer. Sausage this side will take about 15 minutes to 20 minutes to cook slowly. And as soon as they cook, I'll remove them from the water and I will chuck them in ice cold water to make sure they don't continue cooking. Okay, now I'm going to cook the fresh chorizo. I'm going to poach them slightly into a simmering water, temperature approximately around 180, and to a internal temperature of the sausage to be around 145. I'm going to cover the sausage with a wet towel to make sure that it stays submerged and it'll cook more evenly into a 145 internal temperature. I will also remove them from the water as soon as they cook, shock them, and then keep them in the fridge overnight. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, just press the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thank you.